Welcome everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Opal Unicorn. Um, as some of you may know, I've been traveling a lot and hopping from place to place because of the nature of my life right now. A lot of things happening in my personal life, but I think it's also a matter of also the collective of those. I believe there's a collective forming between two different factions of light and dark. And what I mean by that is, I'm an astrologer, that I'm a tarot reader, a tarot creator, and I work with archetypes and the messages and the stars themselves for answers as a psychic and a channel. And what I've realized is that we are going through great changes, as we all know, and as everybody knows. I haven't been able to do a lot of videos because the darkness is pushing and fighting with me in ways that I suspected. There was always something that was not normal, but it is now proven to be a fact. People like this, they're hard to fight. I do believe they are working with the demonic forces. They could be your mothers. They could be a family friend. They could be a friend that got close to you. There are some of us that are can be in deep trouble right now, and we don't understand why. I'm still trying to figure out what the reasons are. I'm still trying to figure out how to protect humanity from an infiltration of what I believe is a form of a matrix, an energy field that is compiled of consciousness, AI, and our own abilities to understand what we are being used for. Because energy runs through our brains. We have an energetic field. We have many energetic fields running through our brains. Our brains ourselves are some crazy hard drive. We don't have all the answers. But the problem is that we have Donald Trump going around saying he's destroying not just any civilization, but the cradle of civilization, Babylon itself, ancient Sumeria, the cradle of where all the answers are, where all the ancient cuneiform tablets are, where they have been buried back underground. We have the burial of Gilgamesh, that right when they discovered it, archaeologists discovered it, Iraq was decided to be a place of mass weapons, and it was all a lie. And I ask you, as a society, as believers of the ancient ways, that we look at things synergistically, that we begin to look at things in ways that we may not have seen them before, where there are many moving parts. And we have to start using our non-linear thinking, our non-linear way of acclimating to the days to come, because every day is going to be different. Every day there's going to be a change. And we'll see it in world events. Chaos, they work with chaos. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of pain, we must realize that our body is a temple and that Jesus is our Savior. And he is the antithesis to the devil. They are one and the same aspect, shadow sides. But what they want Lucifer morning star. And Jesus, well, that is actually Venus morning star, and Venus evening star, which goes back to ancient Popol Vuh Mayan astrology between the twins, the twins that rule the universe, and many other stories of astrology and the way the transits move, because the transits in the solar system and our own galaxies with the process of astronomy will give us fortuitous or events that will bring chaos. And if we look closely, we'll see that looking up into the stars and looking into the skies bring us closer to revelations of what we are going through. And right now, we have a very interesting transit. We have Mars ingressing into Aries. Now it is 0 degrees Aries. It's 1 degree Aries today, but it was quite literally ingressed 0 degrees yesterday from Pisces into Aries. This is a huge transition for us in military understandings of the world, because Mars rules Aries. So it is very important to understand that as things start to gear up, there's going to be more chances of war. There is going to be more chances of militia and martial regime, for lack of better words, my friends. We always need to look at things synergistically. And an important part about looking at things synergistically is the fact that we, as quantum, not just relative science beings who have learned relative science, created theory of relativity by Einstein, but we also have a different science that we are now understanding called quantum science, that is completely different type of technology. A technology that we are now realizing is part of the UFO phenomenon and the UAP phenomenon, and many, many people investing in this new technology. There will be many wars. There will be many days to come where life changes. One of the ways life is going to change for us as Americans in particular, but also for all of humanity, is that a lot of these corporations have bought up all the rights to water. I have recently learned that AI takes up a lot of water. So that's one thing that we need to understand. The desalination of water will become a big deal in the future. I also want us to realize that we are more and more in need of making community friends. We are more and more in need of finding our own kind that we can trust, because there will be a time where it will be very easy to call the authorities on one another for domestic or civilian disputes that used to be handled in civil court and in different ways. But as our country gets more and more fascist, as our country gets more and more tightened by the fear of nuclear war, by the fear of all of this war taking over peace, taking over paving our roads that are broken down so that we can get trucks through United States and get products through the world, we are having state of emergencies out of state of emergencies. This time will last 2 years, because the transit of Mars lasts 2 years to go around the whole thing. So I would say that this very strong period lasts about 2 months. Let's look and see when it leaves. When Mars leaves Aries and finally goes into Taurus, we will get some relief, you guys. And that is All right, it's not that bad. We're going to have some more stuff, but it is going to end in May 19, 2026. Where we're going to get a lot easier. We're going to start trying to work with money and finances. I mean, our fiat system. So as we go Mars, because we're going through a militia of Mars, Mars then transcending into May, we're going to be seeing a forecast of money fighting for resources. All right, we know there's an oil war coming up. All right, you guys. But by the time we transit out of Taurus, which may be a couple months into Gemini, there's going to be a lot of journalism. There's a lot of things coming out about all the Epstein files, about how everyone's connected, about how they try to hide things from each other so that the civilian pop doesn't know really what's been going on. What does this have to do with finances and jobs? Well, it means that we need to start building our own farms. We need to start growing our own foods, canning our own foods. We need to start finding ways to make money, because to make food sources that are stable for us. Because even junk food are at astronomical prices, y'all. And we need to start looking at how we can survive as people who can use our bare hands and make our own survival like we used to. And that's part of what made America great. You know, you want to talk about making America great. They've taken us back to a place where we cannot even organize as an advanced civilization, but we have to take matters into our own hands and remember how to grow vegetables, remember how to trade and barter, remember how to consider one another as neighbors and go out into the community. Every time we're on the phone just talking and disassociating each other from the real people, we forget what it feels like to look somebody into their eyes and see their soul, because eyes are the window to the soul. Hello, you guys. I'm Opal Unicorn. I'm a painter. I'm an artist. I'm a psychic. I'm a professional astrologer. I'm a medium. I'm a tarot card reader. I'd like to create for you. I'd like to do a reading with my own tarot deck right now as I'm shuffling. I really, really like to do a reading for what is to come this week. Dear God, what do we have to work with in front of us now? What are the things that we need to work with in front of us now? What are the things we need to work with in front of us now? Prince of Swords, Eight of Swords, hoping for victory, King of Pentacles underneath, King of Wands underneath, strength for time, upside down for times to come, Three of Pentacles, institutions, learning, education. We need to educate ourselves. We need to learn our rights. We need to understand the law. Y'all, we have King of Swords in the position of environment, because we are in a time of law. Everything is about law. Everything is about justice in law. And we see, because everyone's in trial. Melania's on trial. Trump's on trial. Everyone's on trial for something. We're all on trial. It reminds me of the book by Kafka, The Trial. Now our hopes and fears are fair pay. We all want fair pay. We all just want what we're due. Those of us who are not greedy are wishing for this, and there are people that don't want to pay us what we're due. And then we have the Two of Wands, the shields, waiting for something to come to us, but it's upside down, which means that we don't know if it's coming for us the way we want it to. And another card that's upside down is Temperance, because we don't have balance, y'all. We're not balanced right now as a society. We need to learn as a society to work our consciousness, to start bringing the elements, air, water, fire, and earth together to build and create, manifest in this timeline, in this reality. Hello, you all. I am Opal Unicorn. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching me. I'm a new channel in some ways. I'm an old channel in other ways. I really appreciate when you guys watch my videos. I don't have a lot of followers, and I'd appreciate it if you followed and turned on the bell and supported my small channel. I've been working on these things my whole life, but it's been really hard for me to come out and be consistent about it because I always hide back in my cave, and I know that I need to come out and speak to you all. If you like this message, please leave a heart in the comments, and I wish you all a blessed day. Goodbye.